Mr. Pro. I'm doing it.
More on the beat.
So we have issue of Atiku Abubakar, the PDP candidate in 2019 presidential election. Right now, looking at it, APC is telling Atiku that he is not a Nigerian by birth, and he doesn't have the right to contest in the first place. That is what they are telling the tribunal. What do you say here right now?
Well, the situation is completely getting out of hand because Nigeria is about to implode. Why do I say this? Is because there is a constitutional provisions, and when we talk about the constitutional provision as regards the Nigerian constitution, I want to put it straight to our audience, our listeners, our viewers, that the Nigerian constitution, as we know it, is a fraudulent document that was foisted on the population of indigenous people in Nigeria without their consent. This particular document, the Nigerian 1999 Constitution, was handed over to the people by one individual, Abdul Salami Abubakar, under his military junta. He made the constitution and lied on the preamble that we, the people, whereas there was no time the people of Nigeria came together to formulate or promulgate such a constitution. Yeah. Why I go this way is because I want to lay a background for our people, our listeners, to understand that the present Nigerian constitution was copied mutatis mutandis from the American Massachusetts Constitution. So, due to the plagiarized nature of that Constitution, they copied something that shouldn't have been in the Constitution. Yeah. If you go to Nigerian Constitution in section 131, it specifically stated in a clear term that for someone to be a Nigerian president, the person must be a Nigerian citizen by birth. Yeah. It is an express provision of the Constitution. What does that mean? It means that I may be a Nigerian citizen, but for me to be eligible to be elected as a president of Nigeria, I must have been born on the Nigerian soil. That is to say that the day that my mom puts to bed, she must have been on Nigerian soil. That is the express provision of the Constitution. Now, coming to the issue of Atiku Abubakar, the PDP flag bearer. Yeah. Atiku Abubakar, on record, it's on public record that he was born on the 25th of November, 1946, in a place called Jeddah, in Adamawa. Now, then in 1946, Jeddah, or Adamawa province, was under the territory of the Cameroon. Whereas in the south, there were the Ambazonians who were under the Nigerian side. In 1961, a plebiscite or a referendum was conducted whereby the people of Adamawa opted to be part of Nigeria. And from the 1st of June 1961, the Adamawa, where Atiku Abubakar was born, became part of Nigeria. Now, in reality, people are talking about the spirit of the Constitution. The spirit of the Constitution was to prevent a foreigner from becoming a Nigerian president. Yeah. The office of Nigerian president is specifically reserved for Nigerian citizens, those that were born on Nigerian soil. Yeah. So if you follow the tenets or the spirit of this constitution, Atiku Abubakar is legally disqualified to be a Nigerian president.
So right now, Atiku Abubakar, looking at that chapter 6, section 131, which you have, analyzed and they put it in a way our audience will understand what the section is talking about. So right now, I want to ask you, is Atiku Abubakar a Nigerian right now or a Cameroonian?
Atiku Abubakar is a Nigerian.
Many people, especially on social media, what I'm seeing on social media, are saying, so Atiku is not a Nigerian, Atiku should go back to Cameroon. So right now, the question is, can you tell us whether Atiku is a Nigerian or a Cameroonian?
Atiku Abubakar is a Nigerian. His citizenship at the moment, he is a Nigerian. Where we are trying to make a difference or clear the issue is this: Atiku Abubakar is a Nigerian, but he is not eligible to become Nigerian president. That is just the difference.
Okay, thank you very much.
It is the problem. It is the issue of eligibility to become Nigerian president, and not basically about he being a Nigerian or not.
Okay.
From 1961, from June 1st, 1961, Atiku Abubakar is a Nigerian.
Through a referendum.
Through the referendum that was conducted.
Thank you very much.
But to be a Nigerian president, he is not qualified. He is not eligible.
Right now, what do you say? Because before the 2019 presidential election was conducted in Nigeria, the leader of IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, raised the issue and telling the National Assembly to amend that particular section. What do you say here? Looking at the confusion in Nigeria right now, APC is telling PDP candidate Atiku Abubakar that he is not eligible to contest in the first place. How much more to become the Nigerian president? What do you say here right now?
Well, what I say is this: Nigeria, as a state, doesn't obey her own law. In fact, the judges, the lawyers, those that are saddled with the administration of justice in Nigeria are even ignorant of the laws of Nigeria. The people that are solely responsibility is to interpret the law. They don't even know the law itself. So this is where the problem comes in. One, the Nigerian constitution itself is not being followed because those at the helm of affairs, they have deliberately placed the Fulanis at every strategic positions of the Nigerian system, thereby stopping the implementation of the tenets of the Constitution.
Okay.
For instance, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Onohe, was removed unconstitutionally.
Yeah, of course.
He was tried unconstitutionally. And the person, Tanko Ibrahim, that was used to replace him, supposed not to be extended on his position after the expiration of 3 months. That is what the Constitution says.
What do you think that made the National Assembly to ignore this clue from the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, looking at what is happening right now?
It is because Nigeria is a lawless state. Nigeria does not obey her own law.
That is why they ignore that
because
section.
There is a defect in the Constitution as regards to these provisions, which requires a citizen to be eligible to become a president of Nigeria only if the citizen is a citizen of Nigeria. The National Assembly should have resolved that issue long time ago. Even the INEC that has been feeding that has been clearing candidates for contesting elections, they should have been held responsible for not screening out those who do not qualify, who do not meet the requirements that is provided by the Constitution for you to become a Nigerian president. Because if you go to section 25, you will see that it specifies that even your mother and father, one of them must be a Nigerian for you to be eligible to contest for the office of the president of Nigeria. But when you go, you see it, you see that in 2001, 2007, 2009, 2019, Buhari was 2015. Buhari was contesting elections.
Yes,
whereas without having the constitutional requirements that you must have a certificate, a school certificate before you contest. But he doesn't have it. And he was allowed to become the president of Nigeria. So there is a constitutional crisis which will precipitate to the dismemberment of the fraudulent contraption called Islamic Sultanate of Federal Republic of Nigeria.
You talk about the issue of Muhammad Buhari. In our previous program, so we talk about the man in Asorok now. Looking at this man in Asorok, what do you have to say, looking at what we have in that chapter 6, section 131, the APC candidate, is he also qualified to become Nigerian president?
If we follow the provisions of the Constitution, both candidates are disqualified from becoming the Nigerian president because none of them is a Nigerian by birth. And none of them, both of them, their parents were not Nigerians by birth. So if you dig into this issue, you will discover that the Constitution of Nigeria is not being applied by the Nigerian state, and which has made it possible for all these constitutional crises to...
And looking at it right now, you said it here that both the candidates, the two candidates, APC candidate and the PDP candidate, both of them are not qualified to become the Nigerian president in this 2019 or even in the past. So right now, what's the way forward?
The way forward is, one, to annul the election.
The election conducted?
Yes, the election that was conducted should be annulled. And they're supposed to start afresh by proper screening of candidates to make sure that you have eligible candidates to contest for the office of the president of the Islamic Sultanate of Nigeria.
PDP candidate and the APC candidate, both of them are not qualified to become the Nigerian president.
That is what the Constitution says.
Yes. Mr. Kalago, looking at the whole thing in Nigerian tribunal, APC is telling Nigerian tribunal that Atiku Abubakar is not a Nigerian by birth, that Atiku doesn't have the right or the eligibility to contest in the first place, how much more to become the president of Nigeria. Now, what should be the role of the PDP now as a party?
Well, the role of PDP as a political party is very, very clear. We have established on this platform that Atiku Abubakar is a Nigerian through referendum, but he is not eligible to become Nigerian president according to the Constitution. Now, APC, after listening to the broadcast of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, where they learned that Atiku Abubakar, from the provisions of the Constitution, is not eligible to become Nigerian president. Now they push that narrative forward to the election petition tribunal, telling the tribunal that Atiku Abubakar is not a Nigerian and supposed not to even question the outcome of the shambolic election. Now, what the PDP should do is this. Since there is on the public domain the circumstances surrounding the impostor in Asorok, the person that is impersonating the late Nigerian president, the late Muhammadu Buhari, who died in 2017 and was replaced by a political decoy to manipulate and to further implement the Fulani agenda. What the PDP should do is to seek for a DNA test on both candidates in order to satisfy that the person in Asorok is real Muhammadu Buhari as they want the world to believe. So this is a very simple challenge for the People's Democratic Party. We can never allow the society to descend into anarchy because of the lies that has been concocted in order to deceive the populace of indigenous people that were lumped up together in Nigeria. It's Muhammadu Buhari, when he was alive, he doesn't have a school sat. He doesn't have school sat to qualify him to contest for the presidency in 2015. And today we have an impostor, Jubril al-Sudani, impersonating Muhammadu Buhari, and he also have no school certificate as required by the law. And they have already gotten a fraudulent document from WAEC, which constitutes a perjury before the law. So the PDP and the Nigerian people in general must reject this impostor that is trying to become the president of Nigeria for the second time using a forged certificate.
Thank you very much, Mr.
So the PDP should look into this, and Nigerians in general must look into it and stop this certificate forgery that is prevalent in the Nigerian presidential issue.